What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the debut album from the band Water Torture, entitled Pillbox. This is released on Nerve Alter. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Buffalo, New York, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very sludgy, chaotic, noisy style of power violence. Over the last couple of years, this has been a band that has been making a very, very huge amount of noise and created a great, well-deserved deal of buzz within many different music communities, notably within power violence, grindcore, hardcore, and any of those sort of scenes. You may best know them for the series of split and compilation releases that they've done with the likes of bands such as Six Brew Bantha, Sea of Shit, and Swallowing Bile. Shoutouts to my good friend Ethan from Swallowing Bile if you happen to check this out. But yeah, they have a very, very interesting sort of sound, not reliant really on guitars, but mainly on the usage of bass guitars, drums, and power electronics. They have a little bit of a harsh noise aspect to their sound, and I think that's what makes Water Torture sound so incredibly devastating. They have a very heavy sort of sound, and it can definitely appeal to anybody who is into grindcore or power violence or hardcore. I think it's very, very incredible. When word got out that there was going to be a debut full-length from this band, I was very, very interested to hear what the result of all of those great split releases was going to accumulate in. And now here we are with the debut full-length entitled Pillbox. It's 17 tracks, and it clocks in at around 24 minutes in length, and pretty much you are going to get the absolute best that this band has to offer with Pillbox. It is a very short record, and it definitely flies by at such a fast pace, but yet when the heavy moments of this album kick in, you're going to be just hit very, very hard, and that's what I love the most about Pillbox. I definitely think this is one of the best power violence releases of this year, and could definitely see a spot within my year-end top 20 list. I think this is absolutely devastating stuff. Once again reiterating the fact that this is a band that relies very heavily on bass guitar and distortion. I think the way that the bass guitars are being done here, it just creates a very, very pummeling and very, very sonically devastating sort of sound. It is just very, very clear, very dirty, very gravelly. I love the way that it sounds. It almost brings out the sludgier side of this band. I mean, when it comes to some of the longer tracks on here, like Population Control, and I want to say a track like Boxcars, I just think it's just so gut-wrenchingly devastating. It is extremely heavy. And just the way the bass guitar is handling itself, it just sounds so phenomenal. Very, very loud, very drenched in feedback. I think it's really, really incredible. The sludgier sounds of the bass guitar sound very, very good, but then you get to the more fast-paced power violence sort of elements of this band. Once you get to short tracks like Consumer and excuse me, Blindfold, Eroded, just some very, very incredibly sounding riff work going on those tracks, and it almost makes you forget that this is a bass guitar driven sort of band. They make this sound work so well. Moving on to the drums, I really, really love this drummer style. You're going to get an assortment of very, very fast-paced drumming, lots of great blast beats, just a lot of great patterns and ideas. Once again, going to the longer tracks on this album, I definitely think the parts where it begins to get a lot sludgier and a lot slower, I think it's just downright scary. I mean, if you happen to, like, let's say maybe Despise You or Weekend Nachos to a certain extent, if you're a fan of the slow punishing drum styles, you're gonna get a good instance of that with some of the lengthier tracks on this album. I think it's amazing. I definitely love the way that this drummer conducts himself, and is just very, very powerful drum performance. And of course you get this band's harsh noise power electronics sort of ideas. Again, you get to tracks like Product 1 and Product 2, and then the track Creature of Repetition. The harsh noise aspects of this band work very, very well, and including certain elements of this album where certain tracks end, you just get the little bleeps and bloops that you would normally hear from a power electronic sort of band. That's where a little bit of fear begins to get instilled, and I think that Water Torture deliver that sort of chilling aspect very, very well when it comes to the electronics. And moving on to the vocals, I think the vocals are very, very awesome, very well worded and very understood. Kind of a shouted sort of delivery, kind of a frantic sort of pace, but yet I think the guy that does the vocals here just really, really delivers some incredible, incredible vocals. Once again, very good emphasis on vocal delivery. I love his style, his manic approach. It's a very, very powerful sort of vocal style. So overall, I definitely think this debut album is a very, very great companion to the body of work that this band has already put out. I am very, very excited as to what is in store for Water Torture in the future. If you're a fan of grindcore or power violence or sludge or hardcore, Water Torture is a band to be on the lookout for. They deserve to be heard, and they deserve a chance to be listened to. So if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Consumer, Population Control, Fourth Stage, Blindfold, Boxcars, Trench, and Rot. Some really, really awesome tracks. I'm going to leave you a link in the description box to the Nerve Alter Bandcamp page where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. It is a name your price download on the official Bandcamp page, and it is also available for pre-order on 12-inch vinyl. I will also link you to the web store where you can pre-order the vinyl. I already did, and I cannot wait to receive it. So, again, the album is Pillbox by Water Torture. This is released on Nerve Alter. Definitely support this great, great band, and I'm going to give this a very solid 9 out of 10. Very, very devastating power violence from probably one of the best up-and-coming bands to represent the style. So support Water Torture. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until the next time, Armijo out.